Hi, I'm Zach, and I've been a software developer for 12 years now. I've also been running my own agency, doing both development work and marketing for the past 7. One of my core values has always been to do things as efficiently as possible. So the topic that I'll be talking about today is how to be more productive in business. So often it's the case that the entrepreneur's idea is not actually bad. It's also that they are working hard. They're not being lazy, but I do feel that a lot of the time they are wasting time on maybe unnecessary things or doing too many things at once. We really do need to set priorities. If we do the shotgun approach when we're at our earliest stage, then it's also the least likely to work. Because if we're splitting off into all of these different directions all at once, when we have the least amount of resources, like when you're starting a business, you have the least amount of energy and time because it's just you or maybe a couple of other people, then that is probably the worst time to do too many things at once. On the opposite side, if we were to focus all of our energy and all of our time in, let's say, just getting one acquisition channel to work properly. Like in my case, the first acquisition channel that I was able to get working well for myself or my clients was Facebook ads. It wasn't easy to even get that one channel working, but as soon as I was able to get it to work, then we were able to get clients that way for 5-6 years without even needing to branch out to other channels. Of course, you should eventually branch out and do more things in more places. But at the end of the day, we're in a business to make money, not just to have a larger organization or more employees or more contractors. So we would want to keep things as tight and lean as we can for as long as we can. For example, one of my biggest mistakes when I was first starting out was trying to hire too many contractors on at once. Because of this, our work quality suffered. I was under much more stress. I had an increased burn rate, and I feel that I personally got just less work done more often. Keep in mind, the problem that I had was that I hired too many. It's not that you can't hire some people in early stages of your business as long as you have the capital or the income that you're going to get by having them is greater than if you were to do the work by yourself. I believe that my mistake was just hiring too many too quickly, but of course you don't have to do the same. So whenever we're going to do anything in our business, whether it's even taking on a new client, trying out a new acquisition channel, hiring a new contractor or employee, trying this new strategy, we should always be examining it from the core view of, is this going to get us to the goal faster? Many times we'll take on additional complexity because we need money in the short term. For example, maybe you do primarily website development or you sell air conditioners, but then a new potential client comes up and then they ask you, hey, do you do social media marketing or do you do heater installation? Heater installation is probably not a good example for air conditioning people, but you get what I mean. They ask you for something that is not one of your core competencies, and maybe they get you at a bad time, so you're willing to now do this additional type of service. And now you have added on a new type of technical or bureaucratic debt into your company's processes by just doing this one-time service. Now you are going to take on this habit of taking on new types of work just whenever it is requested of you. But this really is going to hold you back in the long run because now you're just, again, splitting off into many different directions all at the same time, as well as now you are focused less so on your initial product or service offering, whether that was website development, air conditioner installation, whatever it is, you are focused less on that. For example, if you had done only your website development business and nothing else, you didn't take on social media clients, you didn't take on website hosting clients, you just did development of websites, you are going to be better than somebody who does 5 other types of tasks alongside the website development. Now, this might not seem like a typical productivity video, but that is because this focuses on the core of productivity, which is getting more done of what you wanted to accomplish. How I would view this, maybe differently than others when we talk about productivity, might be examining it from all of the different angles. So usually somebody who would think about productivity in, let's say, website development, this might mean simply getting the website done faster, getting more of them done. I think another angle you could take on it would be maybe charging more for a website and then doing less projects, or being able to do it with less workers, or perhaps even an additional worker, and that streamlines the whole process. So now everything is being done at twice the quality. So then you can charge triple the price. There's all different ways of viewing productivity. But I do believe that the only way you're going to be able to achieve that level of quality, to be able to charge higher prices or premium pricing for whatever it is that you're doing, is by just being really, really good at your core competency. The bar for excellence has never been lower, given that the quality of service nowadays seems to just constantly be decreasing. Even companies that have nearly unlimited resources, like perhaps, let's say, Google, they are constantly sunsetting new applications or services that many people use because unfortunately they just haven't been able to manage them to the point of making them more successful. Now, of course, not many of us are in the same position that a company like Google is in, but we can learn from their lessons, which is taking on too much, introducing too much bureaucracy into our processes, doing too many types of things at the same time, and not focusing on what got us there in the first place. The reason that people loved us in the first place, or loved our products. One way that I like to think about making my overall processes, or even myself, better and more efficient is sort of like in exercise, where you have bulking and cutting processes. In essence, how this could happen in our business might be that as things become more complicated and we need to now take on new processes like new apps, new services, new logins for different things that we need to use on a regular basis. Maybe every quarter, every other quarter, we have a review and say, do we need this still? Or is there a way that we can trim the fat, so to speak, in some other way? Now, I'm not heartless and I'm not trying to say that we should be firing people all of the time, but it's just a way of thinking about how can we make things more efficient. One angle that we might want to examine our productivity in business could also just be from ourselves. Like, what are we doing as the founder or a manager each day in the business? Are we occupying ourselves with lots of busy work that should be delegated to someone else? Are we spending too much time on trying to gain new acquisition channels or new customers without properly servicing the ones that we already have? So the way I've been saying things is probably not very conventional, but I hope that some of these ideas are able to help you or jog some new train of thought for you. And maybe you'll be able to try out some of them in the near future. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope that helps.